Yo, yes now, bless now, don't forget to rest now. Dezrocksteady at KOTP TV, that's King of the Pit TV signing in. People, it's been a long day today, alright, so please have some respect. We're here to learn, we're here to laugh, we're here to cry, and we're here to pay attention to My Chemical Romance's early history and potentially go into their first album entitled I Brought You My Bullets. You brought me my love. How powerful. How powerful. We've done a listen through, song by song. First time reaction for me on this channel. Alright. I've actually got the second album recorded now, Three Cheers, which was a step in a different direction. But we're just going to pay attention to how the band established and where they went with this first record. So, My Chemical Romance, commonly abbreviated to MCR or My Chem, is an American rock band from Newark, New Jersey. The band's current lineup consists of lead vocalist Gerard Way, lead guitarist Ray Toro, rhythm guitarist Frank Lero, and bassist Mikey Way. So Mikey gets no respect. He must be fuming. He must think, why did I choose bloody bass guitar, man? My man Gerard Way is stealing the show. They are considered one of the most influential rock groups of the 2000s and a major act in the pop punk and emo genres, despite the band rejecting the latter label. So they didn't call themselves an emo band. You know, emo was more of a time and a place and a image and an aesthetic as opposed to like literal emo music back in them 2000s. Founded in September 2001 with Gerard, Mikey Toro and drummer Matt Pelissier, and later joined by Lero, the band signed with Eyeball Records and released their debut. So who are Eyeball Records? Independent record label established in New York City out of apartment 4C on 14th Street at blah 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 blah. Eyeball has released albums by artists such as Thursday. We need to check out some Thursday, you know. I've never listened to Thursday. My Chem and Murder by Death, focusing on indie, alternative rock and punk rock. In 2020, the label began releasing exclusive cassette and t-shirt bundles exclusively through The Hive. Bro, I know so many organisations called The Hive. It's crazy. As far as artists are concerned, An Albatross. I had a couple of tunes at least by An Albatross, like back in the day. I thought it was crap. It was like math rock stuff, wasn't it, really? Like quite intense in a way, but it was too noisy for my liking. I Wrestled a Bear once. I hadn't heard that in a while. Number 12 Looks Like You. What else is on here? Breakdown. Is that the Breakdown? Yeah, Breakdown, the American hardcore band, New York hardcore. Fits. Thursday, The Casualties, Gaslight Anthem, H2O. So this is, from the get-go, they've been taken on by a well-established or establishing great momentum independent label. So how have they done that? When was the first record brought out? It was brought out in 2002, so 1 year later. So they were linked in to some extent from the get-go, all right? In 2002, they signed with Reprise Records, and the next year released their major label debut, Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. 2004, shortly after the album's released, Pelissier was replaced by Bob Breyer. The album was a commercial success, attaining platinum status over a year later. Success of the band's previous albums were eclipsed of that of the 2006 rock opera concept album, The Black Parade. Wow. A major commercial success, its lead single, Welcome to the Black Parade, topped the UK singles chart. The album solidified the band's following, despite negative coverage in the Daily Mail, generating controversy. The band's fourth studio album, Danger Days, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys, was released in 2010. Breyer departed the band prior to the release of the album. In 2012, they added touring keyboardist James DeWeese. In 2012 and 2013, the band released a series of singles they had recorded in 2009 under the collective title Conventional Weapons. My Chemical Romance announced its breakup on March 22nd, 2013. 2014, a greatest hits album titled May Death Never Stop You was released. I wonder whose idea that was. That's the label. That's the label saying, hey, you owe us another record. You know, come on. You're in debt, you owe us another freaking record. give us a greatest hits now, or we'll just put a greatest hits out. That might not have been the case, but I like to philosophize on the evils and the constraints of the contract you must sign, the selling of the soul to establish such a great presence in music. Where we're going from here. And the 10th anniversary reissue of The Black Parade was released in 2016. On October 31st, 2019, the band announced a reunion show which took place in LA on December 20th, 2019. In January 2020, they announced additional shows on a reunion tour which commenced in 2022 and after a 2-year postponement due to the COVID-19 pandemic and concluded in early 2023. Right, so labels: Eyeball, Reprise and Warner. Spin-offs, we've got Leathermouth and Death Spells. I don't know either of them, Max. They originated from New Jersey. New Jersey, man. And they've only had 3 past members, so they've held it together over the years, to be fair with you. So let's get into the first album. We've listened to this. I've got a picture here of the September 11 attacks. Bloody hell, I hope that wasn't Gerard Way's doing. Witnessing the September 11th attacks influenced Gerard Way to form My Chemical Romance. That's crazy. Yeah, where were you when September 11th happened? Do you remember that? Were you born at that point? I just wanted to watch cartoons. I wanted to watch cartoons in every channel. I just had this shit on the television. I just wanted to watch Cartoon Network, to be honest with you. The band was formed by frontman Gerard Way and drummer Matt Palicia in Newark, New Jersey, soon after the September 11 attacks, witnessing the World Trade Center towers fall. Influenced, watching the tower just fall on its own footprint. Madness, innit? To the extent that he decided to start a band. Shortly thereafter, Ray Toro was recruited as the band's guitarist because at the time Way could not sing and play the guitar simultaneously. Yeah, I know that. When it comes to that riffing and singing, these people are talented who can do that. Way has said that music was his thing I secretly wanted to do, and later wrote the song Skylines and Turnstiles to express his feelings about September 11. So weird that it's based on 9/11. What the hell? The name of the band was suggested by bass guitarist Mikey Way, younger brother of Gerard, who was working. Let's see if my man Mikey's got a different band. I feel sorry for Mikey. Mikey's just in the shadow of Gerard. He is a multi-instrumentalist and backing vocalist of rock duo Electric Century. Way co-wrote Collapso with Sean Simon, which was released in... it's put out on DC Comics. I don't know how that works out. The first concert he ever went to was a Smashing Pumpkins concert with his brother. After seeing them perform, he told them, "We have to do this." He was asked to join My Chemical Romance, which involved him having to improve his bass skills in the space of a week. He has toured with from first to last. Still young, 42 years old. He's got a nice little section. He's got a nice little section for him. I appreciate that. Personal life. March 2007, Way married his first wife, Alicia Simmons. They divorced in 2013. It's shit that Wikipedia has to hold that. In February 2016, Way married Kristen Blanford. Together they have 2 daughters, born in 2017 and 2019. Good fella. Way has spoken openly about his struggles with addiction and sobriety. He's been sober since 2014 after entering rehab following an intervention. Probably because fucking My Chemical Romance broke up. Life's not worth living, bro. We were fucking running the world. Sorry, I'm very insensitive today, people. I've had a tough day at work, I'm telling you that. The name of the band was suggested by bass guitarist Mikey Way, younger brother of Gerard, who was working in a Barnes & Noble when he was struck by the title of a book by Irvine Welsh named Ecstasy, 3 Tales of Chemical Romance. The first recording sessions were undertaken in Palicia's attic, where the songs Our Lady of Sorrows and Cubicles were recorded. The band refers to those sessions as the attic demos. After hearing the demo and dropping out of college, Mikey Way decided to join the band. While with Eyeball Records, the band met Frank Lero, the lead guitarist for Pensy Prep. Following Pensy Prep split in 2002, Lero became a member of My Chem just prior, blah, 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 blah. The album was produced by Thursday frontman Jeff Rickley. Jeff, you did a fair job. I mean, it comes nowhere close to the production value on 3 Cheers, but you did an alright job. It's very metalcore, that record. After the band became friends with him while playing shows in New Jersey, Lira played guitar on two of the tracks, one of which was Early Sunsets over Monroeville. During this time, the band was booked at the infamous venue Big Daddy's, where it began to receive more attention. MyChem offered free downloads through Pure Volume and the social networking website MySpace, where they gained an initial fan base. Yeah, them bands that blew up on MySpace during that time really blew up. Really blew up. That was the time for emo. Pop emo, should I say. So let's have a look at some factoids in regards to this album, alright? We got some information. So the title of this one's often shortened to I Brought You My Bullets or Bullets. Is the debut album by American rock band My Chem, released on July 23rd, 2002 by Eyeball. It was recorded at Nada Recording Studio in New Windsor, New York in May 2002. In the band's 2006 documentary, Life on the Murder Scene, the band describes the painful conditions lead singer Gerard Way was in during the recording of the album due to a toothache, causing the album to take longer to record than planned. Oh no! My tooth hurts! My tooth hurts! It sucks. I feel it. I feel it. Music and lyrical themes categorized into genres such as emo, post-hardcore, screamo, punk rock, pop punk, and garage punk. Where's metalcore? It's pretty metalcore. Am I thinking of a different record? It was a while since we heard it, but them and Avenged Sevenfold's debuts pretty metalcore. Has a raw sound featuring guitar riffs, very energetic vocals, and occasional screaming. Despite being sold under the alternative rock genres, it is considered an emo album. It wasn't really an emo album, was it? With strong influences from punk rock, hardcore punk, and heavy metal. Songs on I Brought You My Bullets, such as Skylines and Turnstiles and Our Lady of Sorrows, have been described as hardcore punk songs. I don't want to keep saying the name of this title, so I'm going to call it Bullets. It is often regarded as a concept album. It involves two Bonnie and Clyde-esque characters who are eventually gunned down in the desert. I didn't pick up on that. On My Chem's next album, Three Cheers, the unnamed man supposedly then finds himself in purgatory, where he makes a deal with Satan, his hellbound lover, for the souls of 1,000 evil men. He's then resurrected and sent on his gruesome task. Though is generally accepted by the group's core fan base, this has led to some to attribute its supposed existence to over-analysis on the part of hardcore fans. The alleged storyline is not confirmed by the band, but some evidence includes... I don't care about the evidence. So, My Chem haven't actually confirmed that it's a concept record. The fans are just like, most definitely. Another theme apparent on the album is the nature of vampires, as in both the undead creatures and, metaphorically speaking, those who seek to corrupt and exploit. Yeah, I know somebody who was mad into vampiricism, psychic vampires, the act of draining others' energy, like in a real life situation, like just tiring people out. Who wants to be friends with someone like that? The song Skylines and Turnstiles was written shortly after the September 11th attacks and expressed feelings of sorrow and loss, and Early Sunsets over Monroeville was inspired by the George A. Romero film Dawn of the Dead. Gerard Way describes it as a sweet song about the dawn of the dead, with the lyrics using references from the film. Before the September 11 attacks, Way was working as a comic book writer and animator. He was working on a vampire comic which he never completed, and has also said it's the reason for the vampires in the lyrics. I wonder if he did the artwork. Has he done artwork for any of the releases? Release and promotion. Text on the album's disc reads, unauthorized duplication is a violation of applicable laws and will result in Gerard coming to your house and sucking your blood. In December 2002, the band went on tour Misery Signals, Remembering Never, and Every Time I Die. Every Time I Die had a really good southern rock sounding record that I enjoyed called The Big Dirty. I think that was the name of the track, The Big Dirty. I also had another album with them called Last Night in Town. That was crap compared. Didn't like that stuff. In May and June 2003, the band went on tour of Every Time I Die and Give Up the Ghost. Give Up the Ghost is a hardcore band. Give Up the Ghost was called American Nightmare, or went on to be called American Nightmare. The guy's got one arm. And, you know, I've seen footage of him now. You know, the sound of the band has aged badly. People don't... I don't know, it didn't seem as good as the footage I've seen back in the day. I had a proper mad on that band. To promote the album, Mike Kemp played in bars and clubs around New Jersey. Tour manager Brian Schechter noticed the band's performing and thought the band would be perfect for opening for the band. They used Used were very big, weren't they? Eventually, Schechter became the manager for My Chem, and Bullets was noticed by Reprise Records, a major label connected to Warner Bros. Records. Reprise Records signed My Chem in 2003. For 2005 and 09 re-releases of the album contains a bonus Eyeball Records sampler CD. There are several different versions of the sampler and each one contains different tracks. Since the closure of Eyeball, this album is currently out of print on every format. Might go for a couple of quid nowadays, eh? The album was re-released on vinyl in 2009 with a clear as well as white and red edition. It has sold 285,000 copies in the US as of 09. Also achieving a gold sales status certification of sales over 100,000 copies in the UK. Physical copies of the album are very rare in the US today. However, it returned to iTunes on September 23rd, 2016 and appeared on Spotify and Google Play on the same day. 2016, Franklin, blah, 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 blah. What's mad is iTunes. I heard that iTunes... Is this right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard that iTunes is like ridded of like all of the music that was on there. On everyone's accounts. That cost physical money. You went and worked and bought music off of iTunes and iTunes have just cleared it all out. What's all that about? That's mad, don't you think? Production produced by Jeff Rickley. Tracks 2 and 8 produced by Jeff Rickley and Alex Saavedra. If that's pronounced right. Recorded and mixed. Alright, cool. Yeah. Oh. I mean, you know you're a big deal when you have exclusive releases in Japan. That always tends to be like a big deal for these bands and these labels, isn't it? Couple of bonus tracks, put it out in Japan. I don't understand why, but that's just the way it is. And that was a little factoid journey through the early history of My Chem. Didn't really tell you too much about the early history apart from they formed and then just suddenly got signed, which I wonder why and I wonder who had the links there. That one random. That one random. Without further ado, I'm signing out, people, so I'll see you on the flip side. Peace, 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 peace.